evening and welcome to Shop Live with Mimi and Russ and Louie. Louie's up here a lot with us as we start the show, but tonight especially.
It's a special day.
It's his birthday. Louie is 5 years old today. It's hard to believe we've had him for 5 years, but he's a blessing to our family and to our business.
So
We have
sweet.
lots of fans who come to see him on a regular basis, and he's a good little dog.
So if you come by this week, you can wish our little boy happy birthday.
That's right.
He's happy. We had a great weekend. Gabrielle and Russ and I went to the coast, and it was so nice. We got to sit on the beach for a couple of hours on Saturday.
Mimi fell asleep, snored, and got sunburned on half her face.
Yeah, I looked like Two-Face and what was that? Batman. I woke up, it was like bright red and white. But it was just so wonderful to be. I love this time of year.
Yep.
I love Easter. So we had a really nice couple of days to
Yes,
get
we
away,
did.
and Louie got to go. He
The
met.
little dog walked about 3 miles one day. He loves it. New smells.
He did. Met some pretty little girl dogs in Southport named Sassy and Sissy. Yes, you remember the little girls. So, what else is going on?
Well, we got a lot of things going on. Actually, this has been an incredible engagement ring season
Oh my
for
gosh.
us.
Yes,
We have been-
everybody's in love. Everybody's getting married.
Yeah, we're just doing a lot of fun things too, a lot of unusual designs, different designs. And you know what's fun, what's good about what we do is people come in, they look online, and places like Etsy have these little designs that get to be popular. And a lot of them, they look good, they're just not practical. So I really have to show people, you know, you're wanting to wear something for a long time. You don't want something that's lightweight, that's delicate, that has little prongs or little leaves, little
Yeah.
flowers and things. It's just not going to hold up. So
Well, this young man this morning, I said, "How long do you want her to wear this engagement ring?" He goes, "Forever."
well,
I
that
said-
won't happen. But
I said, "Well, we're gonna tweak it. We're gonna, we'll get you that feel of that." It was an organic design he was looking for. I said, "But you're gonna work with the man who designs it and does the bench work, and we want to build something that will last you for the rest of your life." So he
Something
came up
durable.
with two engagement couples today. So it's always a lot of fun.
oh, yeah.
Meeting the Lord just has everybody falling in love and getting engaged.
That's right.
We had one of our church family couples got engaged this past weekend too, and we got to see them today. They came by, so it's just always fun as we get older. See,
Yeah, a lot of the people that we originally did engagement rings for 20, 30, 35 years ago, now they're bringing their children to us to do
Yes.
their rings, and which is, that's a great compliment and blessing to us, and it's just amazing how time has flown by that we're doing the second generation
Yeah.
now.
So we have a busy week with clients. You can see Russ he's growing a beard out. Friday night we're going to the Angus Barn for a fun dinner. It's the Titanic dinner, and they recreate the last dinner that was on the Titanic.
So
So
Mimi
we're
and I think about wearing a life jacket to dinner, which would be kind of
Yeah.
fun. So.
We're gonna be dressed up. I have some beautiful authentic period jewelry I'm gonna wear. We'll show you pictures. And I have a life jacket, and I'm gonna wear welly boots. And Russ has got to get his little costume. So
I got to figure something out. We'll figure it out. But
we're
anyway.
doing that Friday, and then Sunday we're going to see the Savannah Bananas. So we'll try to take some fun pictures.
We're really looking forward to the Savannah Bananas. If you're not familiar with that, check that out online, the Savannah Bananas. It's a baseball team, and they do a lot of comical things and dance skits. And it's a blast. It's really uplifted the game of baseball to a lot of fans now, which is fantastic. But a lot of fun and hard to get tickets, and we were fortunate enough to get several of them, so we're going to do that
Yeah, it's
Sunday.
part of his Christmas
Yeah.
experiences. So
So tonight we're going to do kind of what we did, excuse me, last week. Allergies still drive me crazy. We're going to talk about the custom design process and things that we do.
that's why we're sitting in the shop.
Yep.
Back here, he's going to show you. We're going to actually do a casting.
We're going to show you some pieces that we're working on. I'm going to show you the design, the casting process, as Mimi said, showing you how we make a mold, how the mold goes into the oven, and how we actually cast it and pour the metal. I am literally going to light the torch, have a big flame at night, and we're going to melt the gold, and we're going to actually cast a piece of jewelry so you can see how jewelry's made. Like if you come in and have something designed and made, this is the end process to actually make the final piece before I polish it and set it.
So you've been doing this technique how long?
Since '79.
And his father was also a jeweler, and Elliot made and cast jewelry the same way. The difference we have now is technology is advanced with the design part. We have CAD/CAM technology, and we have a laser welder and some equipment that's
Can help the process.
helps the process out. But so you're behind the scenes. You're in his layer back here.
So let's show you kind of what we do.
If you have, if you have any questions, I can respond. And please like our page and share if you know anybody who's artsy, who's interested in the process, or someone younger, like we're talking about these kids getting, call them kids now. It's probably not the best choice of words, but if they're interested in the custom design or the process and just want a little more behind the scenes information, please share our video. We got a lot of good comments last week, by the way.
Also, too, we need to bring up again, this June is the 10th anniversary of us opening our jewelry design studio.
And
Again, if you don't know, we had a retail jewelry store for 30 years, Aura Designs and Fine Jewelers. Got tired of working so hard and dealing with retail and how that goes. So 10 years ago, this June, we opened up the studio, Brunswick Jewelry Design Studio,
it's just been fantastic.
which is a private concierge studio. We work by appointment. So it's personal, it's more personal, it's your time
You work
with
the
us, and we can just sit down and then we actually create the pieces for you. We're not looking through a catalog, picking out something and claiming it's custom design. We're not sending a bunch of stuff out. We're literally working right here with you to be part of the process, to have something done that's special for you. And we're going to build it right, and it's going to be enjoyed for hopefully a lifetime. And then you can pass it on to someone else. That's the wonderful thing about jewelry. It's one of the few things that you can wear in your jewelry. For instance, if I make a beautiful ring for Mimi, my wife here, and she wears it
Always welcome.
for her lifetime, and then one day she may pass it on to her daughter Gabrielle, and then Gabrielle's going to see that ring and remember how much her mother loved it and how much she enjoyed seeing it on her hand. So it's an heirloom piece. It also has value.
Our daughter.
What?
She's our
I
daughter.
know that. Sorry.
It's like, am I getting claimed by one on taxes this year? What? She's our girl.
We know that. It's just not
I know.
okay.
It's
You
just-
can, I don't know why that makes any difference, but anyway, yeah, it's nice.
We're proud.
It's part to have. It's nice to have some heirloom pieces that you can hand down and enjoy that have value. Jewelry does have value. God forbid down the road as well. If you have a situation where you may need money, jewelry also tends to be sometimes a way to help you with a dangerous, unfortunate
Just
situation.
get a little more liquid, yes.
Yeah, we've had people who bought diamonds from us 30 years ago that have doubled, tripled, and some of them quadrupled in price. So they could get their money back out of something like that. So that's fortunate.
Speaking of doubling, let me just quickly mention this. I'm working on a large group appraisal for a client right now, and items that she purchased from us in 2017 and 2019 in recent years have almost doubled in price because of the value of gold
And platinum.
and platinum. So if you have old appraisals, you might want to check through there. You need to make sure that your policies are current, so if you have a loss or anything, you're fully covered.
Correct. And if you do have pieces that are more than 3 to 4 years old that you have not had them updated, even 2 years almost right now, let us know. We'd be happy to do that. Mimi does appraisal. She's a certified gemologist. If you've got some information already, which can save her time, that cuts the price. But during our anniversary sale, things that are going on here, we'll probably give you some very special prices if you need some help redoing those. Now would be a great time to consider, if you haven't done your insurance situation with your jewelry, might be a good time to do it, because the value of jewelry now is very strong.
I mean, stones have gone up, but I'm telling you, gold values, if you look at chains, if you look at charm bracelets, gold charm bracelets, that type of thing, you'd be gobsmacked to see what the values are now. So
It's
you need to protect what your property with your insurance policy.
And part of our 10th anniversary that's coming up, we're going to do some special things. We're going to offer some special deals, incentives, some things that we just don't normally do to celebrate. We have a lot of beautiful gemstones we're going to probably feature. Also, if you want to be involved in a private manner, send us your email. We're going to do some email blasts. So if you're not on our email list, please send us your email. You can text it to our phone number, or you can send it to our email, which is listed on our website. So definitely get your email to us so you can be part of the special things that are going out there that the general public won't be privy to. So let us know about
top
that.
Fans get good incentives.
We want to thank you for making our 10 years successful and fun, and we want to do some special things over the next 2 or 3 months for that.
I can't believe it's been 10 years. It's been so much fun. We love our studio.
Time is flown.
So we're gonna let Russ do man and fire things here. So if you have any questions, again, just put them in the comments and I'll answer while he's demonstrating.
Yeah. So we're going to do a few things tonight. We're going to talk about, Gabrielle wants to come a little closer. Maybe you might want to hold the camera. Doing a couple custom pieces right now to kind of show you things. We're going to talk about the design process tonight. We're going to show you how we assemble some pieces, but I'm going to show you how we actually put the piece in the oven, do the burnout, and actually cast a piece of jewelry tonight. So you'll get to see that. One of our friends is actually her piece. She'll be watching, I'm sure, so she'll know. But anyway, to start with, I'm going to show you a piece that we actually made this for a client maybe a couple of years ago. She had these diamonds. They were from different pieces. She had 3 yellow diamonds and then these other stones. And we do these little, as you've seen, if you watch us regularly, we'll call them bubbles. Kind of playful, random designs, mixing stones. She came back in and she said, you know, I've got some more stones I want to do something with to add to my pendant. Well, I said, great. So I have these other pieces right here. So I set some more rounds, her other rounds. I just put this marquee in that bezel. I haven't set this one yet. I'm actually making this bezel. But what I'm going to end up doing, once this is done and polished, and this one is, then we'll come back over here and we'll arrange these somehow in a way. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but probably something maybe like this, where we put in, we'll add these stones. We might do something like that. But I'll play around. I haven't really messed with it yet. But we may end up, you know, just doing something like that. May change this around, may put this on the bottom. Just haven't really decided. That's the magic of what we do. We just kind of start playing around with it, and when it feels right, you know it. But you can kind of see, you can get all kinds of different looks and effects by just moving these stones around. So this will be a project that we're going to finish hopefully this week. We had a customer who's very excited about that. That's taking her old diamonds, some pieces she inherited and had, and repurposing them. That's the beauty of doing custom work like we do. We can repurpose things that you already have and make it something that you can enjoy and wear. All right, now, the next piece we're working on, we had a lady come in and she had a little diamond that was her grandmother's. So we made, these are some gold rings that we made. This is his wedding band, and that's her ring. And what I'm going to do is we're going to put a bezel in here. Let me get this where I can get a hold of it. The bezel will sit like this. Then I'm going to put her little round diamond in there. We'll solder this in there. So it'll be like a little floating diamond in a bezel, real clean, nice design, simple, elegant. And then we'll get his band done, which will be just a classic polished band. I'm going to show you tonight, when we cast something, when it comes out of our oven, actually we finish casting it, it kind of has this rough texture, you know, kind of that burnt look from the melted gold. Then what I do is I sand it, and I get a little bit of a smoother finish like that. Once I do that, then I go over to the buffing machine here. Compound that gets the scratches off. So we'll put it here, see, buff it. Here, the final polish. So that quickly, go back into the light and I'll show you. So that quickly it goes from the rough out of the oven to a sanded to a high polish. So once you sand it, get a nice smooth finish, you can see how quickly it polishes up. So it gets that nice brightness, goes from there to there. So these 2 rings will be done. There'll be a matching dome wedding bands, and she'll have her diamond from her grandmother in there. And going back to the bubbles, I'm going to show you. Here's someone who came in. She had her mother's ring. There was one of the classic clusters from like the 70s or 80s. It was in yellow gold, and it had all these stones in it. And definitely was not her style. It was dated. And she saw the bubbles pendants that we have in our catalog and our portfolio, and said, I really want to do something like that. So we're going to do some earrings. These diamonds have a little bit of yellow body color, and we're going to put those in yellow bezels, and then on a shepherd hook, so it's going to be a little dangling earring that's going to swing. So that's going to be a really nice earring for her. And we do the cadence bracelets, so I'll show you how those work out. Here's one that's been assembled, and you see it's not polished, has the rough finish. We've assembled it, welded it together. Here's one also that we polished, so you see the difference once you get that sanding out of the way and you hot polish it. It looks like that. This one's going to have these beautiful Montana sapphires. These have kind of a bluish teal, greenish teal tone to them. The Montanas are really sought after stones. They're very popular. They're very rare. They tend to go from kind of teal tones to yellow or yellow greens. The blues seem to be a softer blue, a different type of blue than traditional sapphires. They have that kind of indigo color. But this is going to be a bezel set bracelet, our classic cadence. And this is the wire actually right here. So we'll use this wire to make the pieces that come from it. And right over here, it's a bracelet forming tool. So what I'll do, I'll put this on here and I'll bend it like this to get the shape of the wrist. Because the wrist isn't round, it's oval. So we'll cut this to length. Once that's cut to length, we have a piece that we make. So this will be put together right here. So that's how we start our bracelets, with wire and different heads and combinations thereof. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, when we cast a piece, what does that mean? Casting means we actually melt the gold and we pour it into a mold that's been made of that particular piece. It's called the lost wax process. So it's basically a wax model like this, for instance. Here's a ring that we're doing right now. It's going to have a 3-carat cushion cut. It's got round diamonds down the side. But what you see here is, you see this blue wax and you see the bottom. That's where the metal comes in and feeds the particular piece. So it has to have, these are called sprues. The sprues actually are runners for the gold to come in. This has an extra one right here because this head is a little bit offset. So I want to make sure that plenty of gold goes to it without any problems. So once we put it on this base, this is the main piece that holds it, the frame. So you can see it's embedded down in there like this. So now the next step we have is we have a solution or a chemical, or it's like a plaster of Paris or concrete. It's very hard, but it's a very, very fine powder. This powder can pick up any little detail, so even any little hairline faint scratch, it'll show up in that wax. So we got to make sure the waxes are done perfectly as well. But what happens is we make this hardens over time, and after that, then this bottom part that holds it, we break it off. As you can see, there's that sprue we were just looking at that holds the piece on top. So there's a little cavity, indentation right there. So when I melt the gold and pour it, for instance, it allows me to pour into that little cup right there. That's what we're going to do here shortly. We're going to show you how gold's poured.
So how do you mix up the investment?
It's just basically water. It's a certain formula of just water to the powder mixture. And I've done it so much now I can do it without even having to weigh it. I can just kind of do it by eye. But once this is done this way, it goes into this oven right here. Basically what I do, I set it up to do it overnight. However, this particular one, I did do it today. So we can do this showing tonight. But inside of here, as you'll see, This piece has been in the oven all day, or at least about 8 hours. It basically burns out the metal, the wax. As you can see now, there's a cavity right there. So that cavity is where we're gonna pour the gold.
And what's the temperature in the oven?
We cast this at about 1100 to 1000 degrees, typically for this size of a ring, thickness of a ring. And, excuse me. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take this out of the oven, I'm gonna melt it. This is a casting machine that I use. There are multiple ways of doing this. I've done this exact same way since 1979. It's the same machine that I've used forever. And, I always look at, if something works, if it ain't broke, don't mess with it, So there are more machines you can buy now that really are more technical to do everything in the world for you. But I like this machine, it's been simple. What happens is this, it's got right here, there's a little hole, and I'm gonna cut this on. And you can see, it's a vacuum cast, and when I put the mold on here, it seals. You can see that right there, that nozzle is actually sucking, pulling that gold, pulling my hand. So when I heat the metal and I pour it in here, this machine literally is gonna suck that gold down into that particular crucible that we're using. So if Gabrielle want to come on this side, we're gonna fire up the torch, and we're gonna cast a piece of jewelry live on Shop Live. This is oxygen and natural gas. The gold, we're casting 14 karat yellow gold, which usually, it melts at around 1800, 1900 degrees, so this will be somewhere around 2000 degrees or so. It's getting there. There's your molten gold. See it? So then we'll tip the piece out. Let's take it out of here. We'll set it fully. So that's all it is to it. So now you can see this is extremely hot still. This is probably, I don't know, it could be 1500 degrees still red, cherry red. So what we do is we're gonna let this cool down. You want the gold to cool down so you don't see any kind of red, any kind of color at all to it, which usually takes about maybe 3 or 4 minutes at least. So once that happens, once it cools down, we're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna put this in a bucket of cold water. And this mold is still so hot, it's several hundred degrees. When it hits that cold water, it's gonna start blowing apart. So once it stops making all the noise, then we'll be able to take the piece and you'll be able to see the rough casting. And then we can show you from there what we do as far as cleaning it up and how that whole process works. So let's let this thing sit for just a few minutes. We'll come back to the casting part shortly. In the interim, Mimi, what else we have going on?
What else is going on?
Are we gonna, he says we're gonna talk about doing some email blasts. Do we have a date? We could probably start those maybe in a couple of weeks, you think?
Yeah, we'll have more dates to announce next week when we do Shop Live. Getting everything organized, so stay tuned.
Yes. See my box. See why I'm busy.
Yes.
That's just one box.
That's just one box. Yeah.
He has a lot of new jobs to do.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things we're still working on. We got a couple stock pieces here, a little sapphire ring. I got a little pendant we're working on. I got another. Here's a little fun little pendant. Matter of fact, while we're letting that cool, let me show you how we can build something here as well. This is some little champagne colored diamonds that I like. And we're gonna do a pendant with these. If I can get them to come out of here. They seem not to want to come out. All right, come on. These are yellow gold bezels. We love doing things in bezels. It's nice, especially with pendants. They don't pick or snag. and it's just real clean, easy to wear. I don't suggest you sleep in your jewelry very much, but a lot of people travel, they don't want to take the jewelry off, and these are great to do that because you can keep it. So we're going to do a little stacked pendant like this, and we've got, like I said, little champagne colored diamonds here, which is nice, a little softer, not quite as bright or maybe as dressy either. I think these are fun just to play. So we're going to do a little 3-stone pendant like that, and I'm going to actually drill a hole in the top bezel so the chain can slide through it. And that way it just kind of floats on the chain without having to have what they call a bail. A lot of times you see the little, just like rabbit ears or a single bail, but I like being able to float the chain through it. So I think this will be a fun little pendant. Here's a larger stone too. It's got a little bit of that, kind of they call those TLBs, top light brown, it's got a little brown tone to it, which is kind of fun, especially for something playful. You had the sparkle and fire of a diamond, but you have a little bit of a different tone as opposed to the whites you see so much of, and yellow diamonds. You know, they're not as popular as it seemed like they used to be. We used to do a lot with yellow, and we don't seem to be doing as much with those now. But the champagne stones, these colors, and tend to be really, really strong. And they're fun to put with white stones as well, like this little pendant we were showing you earlier.
Those color diamonds look great with like aquamarines or blue tones.
Yep, they do. But you see, when you put the yellow and white diamonds together, or you know, champagne and whites or whatever, it's fun. So this pendant could be dressed up a little bit more. You know, we could add some white stones to it as well.
I like those champagne tones, really those warmer tones more so than the fancy yellows.
Let's go pull this here now, see if it's cooled down enough. I believe it probably has. So you can see now, there's no color, there's no red or no pink or anything like that. So now we're going to bring this over to our water. So you can see it's a simple process. You melt the gold, it's sucked down in here through the machine. Once it cools enough, we do this. We call this birthing the piece of jewelry. We let a lot of young men come in and do this for the engagement rings. Now, once that's done, we should be able to go boom, and there's the piece of jewelry. So then we're gonna, this is a pendant. If our friend's watching, she will know this is her pendant. And it looks like we got a really good casting. You can see some of the investment, that white powder is still in there, so I gotta clean that up a little bit. The way we do that is a twofold process. I have a steam cleaner here that blasted a lot of it away.
It's probably a little loud in the microphone.
Might be a little loud, sorry about that.
That's yellow gold.
Yep. Here we have an ultrasonic cleaner, which is basically sound waves. These sound waves
Oh, that's probably
blast
loud.
it. Huh? Now, let's take it out. Got most of it out. You can kind of see that. Look at that. This is a free-form kind of an organic pendant. We call this our rough gold or hand-wrought gold. This is a lot of the styles that my father used to do. He liked doing these playful organic pieces. So now, let's look at this and let's see what we got.
Explain what's on the back, the sprue. Yeah.
The back of it, like we showed you here, the sprue that feeds the gold to it. Let me get this other one off here. As you can see, we talked about the sprue, the pieces that feed the metal up to the piece itself. Because this one is a wide pendant with multi-surfaces and it's open, as you can see, I did a lot of extra sprueing just to make sure that gold flowed. You know, when you have different surfaces and different levels and you have openings like that, you know, the gold doesn't always flow. It may go and stop. So I always make sure I got plenty of sprues in here. So that way, all that gold flows smoothly and easily. And we get a great casting like that. So then the next step I would do would be to cut all the sprues away. We're not going to do all of that, but I'm going to show you what I typically do if I can find the right tool. Where's my cutting piece? Well, I don't know what in the world. Well, basically, I have a saw blade. Oh, there it is. Got real film. We have, it's a cutting disc. So what I'll come in here and do is take each of these. We'll cut these away. Last one. So now, the sprue is removed. So then I'll clean all this up and, get it filed down and get it clean and level. Then after we do all that, there's a two-stage process to polish this. I have what's called a tumbling machine, which has little steel shots in it, steel rods in it. And I'll let this sit in there for maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And it kind of gets all those little crevices polished down in that you can't do by hand. So it'll take this dull surface and it'll brighten it back up. And then once that's done, I'll kind of show you again on the bumping machine here, we can. So how rough that looks now, well, you can have quick this is. There you go. How quickly that just shined up. So this is going to have a ruby in the middle here. It's going to have 3 diamonds kind of sprinkled around it. It's going to be a great organic freeform piece. So that's kind of how it's done. It's a fairly straightforward process. It's called the lost wax process, as I said. It's been done for literally thousands of years. They used to do it, and they still do it in sand. It's called sand casting. They actually imprint the models in sand and pour the gold in it. It's a lot cruder. You get more detail of what we do here. It's a lot safer as well. But that's basically the process of lost wax casting. Now, if you have things that you want to have repurposed, please make an appointment. Come to see us. We'd be happy to help you. Even if you're long distance, we can do things on Zoom, and we've done a lot of things, out of state for people. So if you're watching us from somewhere else in the country, we'd be happy to help you as well. And let us know if you have any projects. Let us know also if you need to have some appraisals updated. Mimi is a certified gemologist, and we can take care of that for you. We've got plenty of time to do that. Also, we hope that everyone is getting ready for the warm weather as we are and enjoy the beach as much as they can, like we're doing, and whenever we get a chance. But get your pieces together and let us know if we can help you. Check out our website, see some of the things that we've created, get some ideas, some inspirations. If you've had any dreams your whole life that you want to have done or made, please see us. We have great sources for any kind of diamond or gemstone. We have a lot of beautiful gemstones, exotic stones, rare stones here in our studio as well. And we would love to help you out in any way that we can. Mimi, you got anything else?
I think everybody enjoyed watching you cast that pendant.
Yep. So
Sue made a comment. She was worried about you cutting your thumb.
No, believe me, I cut myself and stick myself regularly. I don't know if you saw right there. That was burned from last week, but it's part of the job.
You've done it so much. I said you could probably do it with your eyes closed.
Exactly, we can. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the lost wax process, or if you want to come in sometime and watch us do it personally, we'd be happy to let you do that as well. So until next week, we hope you have a blessed week, but also send us your email if you want to be on our e-blast for the special things that are going to be happening over the next 6 to 8 weeks at Brummett Jewelry Design Studio. Thanks for joining us. Have a very blessed night.
Thank you, Russ. That was a great demonstration.
Have a good night. See you next week.